Good morning, everyone. I'm Matt Freeman. I have the privilege of serving as the Executive Director for the State Board of Education. My outreach team has put together a fantastic agenda for today with representatives from Idaho's colleges and universities on the line to talk about what school may look like this fall for students. And we're also very fortunate to have Governor Lingle join our call today. Participants on the call should know that the governor will not be available to answer questions at the end of his remarks. Governor, I know you've been working 24/7 for the past couple of months as you have led the efforts to navigate our state through the current public health crisis. So on behalf of the State Board of Education, I want to thank you for taking a few minutes out of your very busy day to drop in and provide some opening remarks for our education discussion forum panelists and participants. I also want to thank you and your staff for all you have done and continue to do to support public education in Idaho. So with that, the time is yours.
Well, thank you, and thank you all. I often talk about college and career counselors when I'm, talking about education, and of course our goal. It's not a goal, we're going to do it. I know that I see some of my college and university presidents that are on the call is that all of those facilities are going to open up, but that all our K-12 is going to open up. We are, part of the reason I'm going to be leaving this is we're going to announce stage 3 or what we're going to do on stage 3 later today. And I got to look at some of the new statistics. For the most part, I've kept Idaho whole as far as our 4-stage plan. Saturday I'll give you guys a news flash. I don't think I'll get in trouble with my staff here that we are going to go into stage 3 and with a few modifications. And then stage 4 is kind of the end of June. But if things go awry, and there's a high likelihood they will in little areas, they'll be more regional in nature. And what that means is whether you're a higher education institution or whether you're a local school district, you've got to be prepared for those contingencies. The fact that we closed down, when we closed down this spring, seems like an eternity. I tell everybody that coronavirus, everything's dog years. It feels like it's been 7 years instead of 1 because of all the things we've had to do. But, we have to be prepared for that inevitable, that blended learning, dual learning, online learning, we've got to put all those programs in place. Idaho, as you're all aware of, is kind of a local control area for schools. This, to me, is a big advantage because the demographics of your teaching staff, the demographics of your students, the schools, hallways, doorways, all of those factors that have to be taken into account for minimizing transmissible moments, a new word that I learned, have to be taken into account. And so the administrators of your districts and the people that are in those schools all need to get together collectively, because our goal is to continue educational attainment and educational advancement. And of course, the career counselors have basically got their feet planted in the K-12 system and then going on to either career technical or higher education. That's your job. And so you have to be cognizant and flexible on all 3 of those. But the ultimate goal is that people have the opportunity to make a good living for them, for their families, and as I always say, comfortably plan for retirement, whether that's being a journeyman a tradesperson or a PhD college professor. The spread between all of them is your job is to expose those kids, kind of analyze those students and figure out what they want to do. What's their passion? What's their heart? What choices do they need to make in their K-12 system that best equips them to do what they want to do. And hypothetically, they could start off wanting to be a university president and end up be a journeyman plumber. And Marlene, you know, there's still hope for you. But you know, those options are what your job is. But we have got to be in a position to where all our schools are open, and then we analyze the gaps that these kids have fallen into. The disparity between the haves and the have-nots, unfortunately, everything that I've read, both nationally and locally, have gone up because of this body blow of this pandemic. You all know my passion for literacy, because I always felt that reading proficiently by the end of the third grade was one of the best equalizers we could have. And I was hoping at this time of the year I would have been, well, school's out now, but the last month I would have been going around to schools to see in the advancement we're making in literacy. And unfortunately, that was not the case. So let me talk a little bit about the budget. You know, we made our announcement early on what the numbers were going to be. I was just on a call with a bunch of a wide variety of business leaders from around the state, and I told them that, you know, our revenue, we're forecasting it to be down 14%. We're talking about a 4 or 5% cut, but I wanted to put that out there early. And people say, well, what's the difference between the 14 and the 5? And the difference is we've got pretty good rainy day sums, and I know we're going to get some money from the federal government. But if there was going to be bad news, I wanted to get out as soon as possible so that budget teams could work together collectively to best plan for it, to minimize the impact on students, on learning, and to maximize the delivery of those dollars. I won't give a blood oath, but I will tell you that that's what I'm sticking with. I'm telling the legislature, I'm telling the citizens, I'm telling everyone that that's the number we're dealing with. Those of you that watch other states, some of the cuts in spending at both the higher and the K-12 area, they're talking about, I've heard everything clear up to 40% when I talk to some of my fellow governors. We are very blessed that we're not going to, and I don't know how you deliver education, whether it be higher, career technical, or K-12, with that kind of a cut. And I'm confident there'll be some more money coming from the federal government, as with the CARES Act money that we've already put out, and we'll get that delivered into the educational pipeline. But I wanted to have the bad news out as fast as possible, so that you can plan on it, make your contingency plans, go through the budget process. But you know, the people on this call, the people that are career counselors, are the ones that are going to have to step up and help these kids. That was always your job, but we really made it an even tougher job, given the fact that some of them, if there's such a thing as a summer slump, we know that there's a Corona summer slump combined together. My grandchildren are very fortunate that their parents are helping them, but I know that is not the case for a lot of students all over Idaho. So we're going to need your help. Thanks for what you've done. I know you're going to have a heavier workload, but a lot of us are going to have a heavier workload. And collectively together, as we look back a year and a half, when we either got a good treatment, got a good vaccine, whatever it is, I want the history books to reflect that collectively what we did in Idaho was the right thing. Robust, that those gaps that were created in our K-12 and our higher education system, that the people that love our children work together to fill up those gaps, and I want to be a part of that. So get a hold of Matt, get a hold of Greg Wilson, get a hold of me. I'm sorry that didn't get to do a big road trip to go around to all your schools and see what was going on, but I look forward to doing it in the future. So Matt and all the counselors, the presidents, thank you very much.